Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 31 Media podcast. My name is Vaishnavi Nashte. I'm the marketing and PR manager here at 31 Media. Today, we're talking to Himanshu Kansal, who is the CTO at Hyperactive. Hello, Himanshu. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Vaishnavi. Thanks for having me here.
No worries. Yeah, I know you're a judge at the DevOps Awards. Can you give a bit more information to our audience about your background and how you came to know about the awards and how you think about the awards in general?
Yes, of course. So I've been in the tech industry for almost 2 decades now, and I myself started off as an engineer. So I'm a self-taught software developer. I did do my bachelor's after that in computer science, then I did my master's from Manchester Business School in e-business as well. Uh,
Yeah.
and most of my tech career has been spent in fintech, starting off with Bank of America. So I've learned about a lot of modernization in the tech industry in
Mhm.
big banks, the tier one global financial institutions. Got an experience with retail and e-commerce as well. But mostly it has been around the finance and the regulated industry and how to modernize it, because that's where the challenges are. I would
Yeah.
say I've just been lucky in the types of projects that I've worked on because they were extremely difficult, large scale projects. So there's a lot to learn, and then have got good experience after that with some startups and scale ups
Yeah.
as well. So it's been a very interesting journey, and now I'm the CTO at Hyperactivate, where I help other organizations build the right strategy for their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like coming in, looking at their organizations from a third person's point of view, and introducing the efficiencies in their
Yeah.
processes, answering key questions around how to set up technology, how to
Mm-hmm.
make use of the emerging technologies. Obviously the
Yeah.
buzzwords they're
Yeah.
abound today, but how does a CTO actually make use of? How do we actually leverage that for the business interest, for business value? So that's what I do now. I help other businesses get off the ground with that.
Yeah.
For the awards, I've been in touch with quite a few people from Amazon and Google in different areas. We're doing different research or building innovative products, or even as a customer. And so it's just through those connections that I got invited to be a judge at the awards.
Yeah.
It was funny enough that prior to that, I was also one of the participants, and we
Oh,
did
okay.
win. Yes.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
did win a couple of awards as well.
What year was
Within a
this
year.
in?
So that was 2021,
Okay.
22, and that was at Reed. So Reed won a couple of awards under my leadership,
Yeah.
and then I became a judge. Say yes, just been here, and I think it's one of the toughest competitions that I've been a part of, not only as a participant, also as a judge, because
Yeah.
it's extremely competitive in terms of number of entries and also the types of projects that come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we were the participants, it was like, okay, we're sending in whatever we know about us. When I
Mm-hmm.
was judging, I got to learn about, oh wow, there's so much going on in the industry, and the typical names
Mm-hmm.
you think of who would not be working on cutting edge technology or doing best practices,
Yeah.
it actually is surprising how many are working on good technology, uh,
Mm-hmm.
transforming their tech stacks regularly. So it was
Yeah.
pretty interesting that way.
Wow. Yeah, you must have judged like obviously a lot of entries and obviously from your experience as well in building an award-winning entry. I'm curious, like what are some projects that you've come across that really stood out to you as a judge?
Yeah, that's really a good and difficult question because there's just
Mm.
so many. So when we get the entries as part of the judging process, they're all
Mm.
anonymized, right? So we don't know where they're coming from. And when we are reading through those, we don't have an idea of the business itself. So whatever introduction is provided within the presentation is what we have, right? That's our
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of that context, of that business.
Yeah.
So some entries have been around large-scale transformations of the complete IT organization or a business completely changing uh, their data warehouses to modern cloud infrastructures.
Mm.
So there was one where was from the flight industry, or uh, well, I think it's safe to say that it was from EasyJet, uh, and they
Yeah.
did a transformation, and that was really impressive because the way
Mm.
they explained they did it around taking together the business stakeholders on the journey, the technology leading that transformation, and then doing it in the right way, that was really
Mm.
impressive. And loved
Yeah.
reading about it. We did not know it was from EasyJet at that point, and when we actually found
Mm.
out, it's like, yeah, that makes sense because we have, as customers of EasyJet, we have seen that sort of change on the
Yeah.
front end, which reflects the quality of the back end as well. So everyone being involved in the process from the organization, building a product that actually works well for the customer is what that project was about, right? The technology
Yes.
was very difficult because when you're changing a system that is mission critical, it
Mm-hmm.
cannot go down and has to perform 100% of the times. It
Mm-hmm.
is extremely tricky, right?
Yeah.
You're replacing something that's already working with
Mm-hmm.
something that is going to be completely different. So
Yeah.
that was, I think, a really impressive example.
What do you think, like, I mean, obviously, other than the impact that they created on their organizations, you know, functions and the entire process of it, do you think there was anything specific in terms of the way they built the award entry? Like, do you think there's something our audience can learn from the way they actually built the award entry?
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. As I said, the only context about the business that we have at that point is what the entry is telling us, right? So
Right.
if the entry tells us this is the complexity of the business, or if this is a situation that the teams are in, these are the budgetary constraints, etc., the clearer it is, the more we can understand the challenges. And that helps us judge the situation better. Because good technology in itself is nothing. It needs
Mm.
to be put in the context of the business, right? We talk about technical best practices, but those best practices cannot be applied just as it is to every business. There is a
Right.
flavor of that business context, the economy of that business, which needs to be taken into account. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the entry should, first of all, definitely tell us what the business is trying to achieve, what the problem is that they're solving, what are their
Mm-hmm.
challenges, the constraints, and how are they
Mm-hmm.
addressing those constraints, and how is this particular
Right.
solution going to address that, right? What are the
Mm-hmm.
options they tried?
Yeah.
And then what are the different people who came together to do it? So that's the holistic answer that we look for. And
Yeah.
we compare then all of the answers and then see, because again, that answer is all of the information that we have. We don't have any other information.
Right. Right. What was your experience like at like during the awards night? Like all
Oh,
of
it
the
was
winners, like all of the shortlisted folks coming together. What was it like?
yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of
Yeah.
energy in the room, obviously there's a lot of food and drinks, a lot of good people you
Mm.
meet and greet. There are so many
Mm-hmm.
participants who are just excited. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, people who are participating, they don't know if they won an award. The judges don't know the names of the organizations who
Yeah.
won the awards either until we're actually
Yeah.
given the list at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, it's a really, really interesting evening. It just unfolds bit
Mm.
by bit. You get really nice meetups with everyone. There's lots of photos, and I think it's a really
Yeah.
fun night to be at. I'm looking forward to it, this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for people to even understand what kind of projects have won.
Mhm.
But I'm curious, like from a judge's perspective, why do you think it's important to even enter into awards like these?
There's quite a few reasons. I strongly encourage everyone. It is a question that someone, one of my executive colleagues at a previous workplace asked me as well, like, what's the importance of the award? And
Mm.
like it's not just the prestige that comes with the award. Like, yeah, you've won it. You've won it at such a big scale as well, because there's entries coming from such big players across the nation. It's encouragement to your teams that yes, there is some value being produced. There is
Yeah.
encouragement that they're doing something right, and it's encouragement for the business that they're investing in the right projects, right, the right things, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
sort of and encouragement, a seal of approval. Like, yes,
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing, and you're doing it at the right time. So it's very
Yeah.
important to go in for the awards. And also you get to learn, as you said, about what others are doing about it, right? There are other players in the country who are working in the same economic
Yeah.
time frame as you are, so they are facing the similar challenges. How are they tackling it? Right? So you get to
Hmm.
learn a lot as well as a participant and as a judge. So I strongly encourage everyone to participate.
Yeah. Amazing. Lastly, I want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
for everybody watching this video today, if there was, there are participants out there who don't know how to get started or who don't know if they should even enter into the awards, what are like some key tips that you like to provide them?
The key steps would be think about the problem. Are you solving a really good problem, right? Are there challenges which you think are out of the ordinary? Are there just challenges which you think others should know about? Maybe you
Mhm.
found a way to solve a problem that
Yeah.
is different, which other people might ha not have thought about, right? Uh, and then just give it your all, make it as clear as possible when you're putting it down, and then make sure you're getting your team involved as well. It's not a one person. One person cannot go in and then answer all the questions that we ask to be
Hmm.
provided for the awards. Make sure you get
Yeah.
your team involved, get your answers correct. It also forces you to think, are you doing the right thing at all,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
Like,
it's
are
a
you even
good
creating that impact in the first place?
exactly. It's a very
Yeah.
good opportunity for introspection for the business. Like, is your tech strategy correct? Is your business strategy correct? And does it need to be revisited? So that's the power of these questions. Just think about it. And then I would say start early as well. Don't wait for the end dates because if
Yeah.
you're waiting for the deadline to approach and doing it in the last couple of days, you're probably not get
Exactly.
the best results. Just write it down, revisit it, show
Yeah.
it to a few different people, and just let it go after that. Just have fun.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you because I think the deadlines are October 9th. So, I
Hmm.
mean, obviously, with the introspection and communicating with other teams, obviously, that takes quite a lot of time. So, starting early
Hmm.
is definitely very helpful.
Hmm.
But thank you so much for your time today, Himanshu. It was really insightful to get all of your opinions and suggestions on the entries. So, thank you again.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine, Vaishnavi. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks.